Hello and welcome everyone. I'm so glad to be here with you today, and I'm really glad that you're here as well, so we could talk a little bit about what's going on up in the stars and talk to our empathic feelings about how it feels when these transitions are occurring. So thank you for joining. And I want you to just get ready to do this year right. We're going to be making big changes and going places that you have only dreamed of. So with that being said, let's see. I want to address, in the quantum vibes, I'd like to talk a little bit about what is alignment with self. So yesterday I talked a little bit about what psychic attacks are, and how psychic attacks affect us as empaths. There's some confusion about what psychic attacks are, and we're going to be looking at that later on again in more depth here. Let's look and see what day that's actually going to be. Let me grab my book real quick. The psychic attacks, we're going to be talking about that on, excuse me, on the 28th, so here just in a couple of days. So for now, let's really talk about what is alignment with self, because that goes hand in hand with the concept of psychic attacks. So to align with self, what does that mean? That means to align with integrity in every choice that you make, in every single moment, the vibration with your external or the internal, external, what I mean by external, the external higher self that is you, that resonates through you, but is also innately eternal, or innately goes on without time. We're in a time vortex, and that's because in our solar system, as the sun is traveling around the universe, we are traveling in a closed circuit environment with our sun, the planets revolving around it, and that sun moving through space a lot like an asteroid would move through space. The sun is getting pulled into our universe, and so it's cycling around the universe with the heavy field of I'm not going to be able to come up with a word, gravity, the heavy field of gravity that holds you, or holds the earth in this progression around the universe. Likewise, the sun and planets revolve around this progression as it goes around the universe in this closed circuit. This closed circuit, when you look at it from outside of the material aspect of the universe, or not the universe, but our solar system, the outside, well, it could be the universe too, but the outside looking into a heavy, dense physical particle world such that we have in our material form, our innate selves can sit on the outside of that and look in and understand that it's a closed environment, it's a closed circuit, and so we're going to be affected by things such as time. But you can also connect to that external part of you that is infinite or lasts forever without time. That part of you that made the decision to come here at this time, that part of you is what I'm talking about when I talk about alignment. So in alignment, remember that the highest good of self that you put into vibration as a manifester or manifesting creative being, prior to coming here, you set up some heavy vibrations to step into and catapult you through your lifetime. And the beautiful thing is, because you are very connected to all that is and know all that is and all potentials from this external point of view before you come into a material manifested form, you are able to connect with those through using a lot of the vibrations of all of this closed circuit, the planets, the sun, even the universe. You get to connect with those vibrations. And the best way that we get to do that is during moments like what's coming up on January 31st, which is the full moon and the eclipse, when they're going to combine together with a lot of other things that are happening. So we're going to talk a little bit about that full moon and eclipse as we get closer to it. And I'm going to be walking you through some meditations as we get closer to it, So we have lots of different times we're going to get together. I'm going to be on live probably almost every single day leading up to the 31st. So make sure, if you would, please, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe so that you can get notified about when these live broadcasts are going to be. So my YouTube channel is just, if you type in Quantum Vibes, it will come up. It'll be the first one. And see, it's got a lotus. It's got a little lotus thing on it, so you'll see it there. I'll go ahead and put the link in the comments down below. And then if you want your personal chart, I just want to throw it out there. If you want your personal chart put together with this, where your planets were when you were born, we'll go into great detail as to why you chose that exact moment for your birth portal. And everything that we're walking through is kind of a portal-like. You can think of it like leveling up in a game. You go through a portal. So you portaled in during certain vibrations, and that's where all the planets were in your natal chart. You can pull it up for free online, but if you want the channeled messages, if you want me to put together with what I'm getting from the guides that work with me, or this higher self that I work with, this happens to be in alignment, which is why I'm here talking. This is in alignment with my purpose to be here, and so I'm happy to create that for you. And one of my alignments is that I'm not chasing money, so I will work with people. It's more important to get the information out there and to get other people playing in the playground of manifestation through these wonderful vibrations, so that we can, as empaths, affect change on the earth. So one of the things I want to do today is talk about each of the houses, and each house, the way, because in astrology it gets really confusing. I know studying astrology at the very, very beginning, it was confusing to me. I could understand what my sun sign was, my moon sign, and my rising sign or ascending sign. And even then, for years, it was just the sun sign. I tried to identify through my sun sign, which is Scorpio. And then my daughter told me about moon signs, and I thought, okay, well, I'll see what moon signs are about, and then rising signs. But I always kind of self-identified with my sun sign. That is so far off the truth. For reality, when you're looking at astrology, I hate to break it to you, but it's just not what it is. That's only one little tiny aspect of a multidimensional way of looking at frequencies and vibrations that are affecting your very existence in your world right now, in your world, in your personal environment. That I'm talking your relationships, your work, your lovers, your desires, your past for creation, what you want to create. And because 2018 is all about creating your passion in the world and affecting change, because of the placement of where this closed circuit and all the planets are, and where we are in the universe, it's incredibly empowering to know what these other aspects of self are. So when you're talking about houses, what we're actually really talking about is collective consciousness has a degree of it's 360 degrees worth of illusions to break through. And the planets are in varying stages within this 360 degrees. They're in varying stages within certain houses. And when they align certain ways, then it's easier or harder for us. Things we have to work against a little harder, or things that really open doors for us, are these frequencies. So as they shift and change, there's things in our lives that become easier or harder. I mean, we certainly know about Mercury retrograde, and we all laugh about it when Mercury goes retrograde. I mean, oh my God, if you're out of alignment in certain areas, it's going to come back and bite your ass. Same thing with Saturn return if you're out of alignment. But the cool thing is that when you become more aware of who you are beyond your sun sign, into your moon sign, which is how you do emotions with people, how you do emotions within yourself, handling your endocrine system. So when you handle your endocrine system, which are all your glands through your body that are connected, when they're connected, you can receive this higher vibration, and that's why everyone wanted to open their pineal, but they forgot there was like 6 more glands to also open up, one of which is adrenal glands, which is why it's really kind of not a cool thing that as soon as the internet kind of made its way in, shortly thereafter we started drinking coffee like crazy. That didn't used to be in the 80s. So in the 90s, in the late 90s, we started drinking coffee like crazy. Well, that is one of those things that affects the adrenal glands. The other thing that affects the adrenal glands is fear. And we went through 2001 when, humanity had a big fright. And then we went through shortly thereafter when the bottom fell out from underneath the finance world. So what are we dealing with? We're dealing with our home lives. We're dealing with our freedom. We're dealing with our finances or our security. And now our communities are changing. People have to have 2 jobs, and we're learning to adapt. But the cool thing about this, we're not in chaos. I guarantee you we're not in chaos. We're in unfolding and unraveling. Because like oppositions, when you have something to push against, you start looking for the relief. So when something comes at you so strongly, you're looking for how can I balance the relief? And you look outside of the box of familiarity for the answers. So that's the cool thing. That's where we are as humanity. And we've been doing this for a number of years now. Now these planets are aligning and going, as a community, you guys are going to get it together, and you're going to start recognizing how we don't really have to rely on other things that are bigger and beyond our control to make our life safe and secure. We can do this within ourselves. And the more secure I become within myself, because I'm aligned with this greater consciousness of myself who made these choices before I came in, I can now let go of these illusions, and I get to be the most empowering aspect of myself. So that's what you're going to be able to have an opportunity to step into on the 31st of January. And we're going to be going through and doing a lot of meditations and ways of finding that within yourself, so we can get rid of the little fear factories that we create for ourselves, because we get a little too concerned about looking good, or all of these illusions that we believe. That's the big one we're really breaking through right now, is the illusion of having to look good and make it right and do it the way so that we can stay in society, so we get accepted by society. We have the money and the finances to be able to exist and get the girl, get the guy, get the car, get the house. That illusion's getting broken like huge because of the way things are aligned. So with no further ado, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in. I'm using a new program in Facebook Live to actually record this. It's Facebook Live, and then I'll send it out on YouTube as a recording later on. But feel free to ask any questions. And if you see this on YouTube, go to my Facebook channel, Quantum Vibes, and look up so you can join our live broadcast, because if you throw any questions out that's going on in your personal life, I am happy to pull a card for you and channel a message. So yeah, let's look into the first house, which is Aries. So as a collective group of consciousness within this closed circuit of planets in the universe right now, we're going to be looking at self-awareness and asserting your will into the world. Because Uranus there, we're going to be focusing even more specifically on freedom, liberation, and revolutionary change. Let me say that again. So with freedom, liberation, and revolutionary change, we're going to be focusing on self-awareness and asserting your will into the world. So combine those two things. Think for a half a second how it is that you're feeling, anything that you really want to bring forth into the world as far as an action. You really need to do that. You really should gather up some strength and do that. Just start playing with it. You'll never know the vibration that lives beyond the moment of inspiration until you take action. So start doing that. Here is the card for you. This is the card. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. So if you could see this, it is a time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. You know, it's interesting. I did this yesterday. Holy moly. I did this yesterday and recorded it for YouTube, but my computer was lagging because I don't have enough bandwidth to really do an upload. But I got the same exact card for Aries yesterday. That's a trip. So anyway, I'll tell you what I was told yesterday. Let's see if anything else comes up. So this individual is getting a light, and they're crossing over. They're crossing over a bridge. So you're going to be the bridge for bringing forward this aspect of self. If you happen to be an Aries sun, an Aries moon, or an Aries rising, you are like the personification of this. And because we are all quantumly entangled, you're going to be bringing out this influence greater than anybody else. So by all means, throw up a light in the full moon that's coming up. Power through with your expectation of becoming aligned with this freedom and revolutionary change and this self-awareness. So that's where it comes from. You're going to be powerful. That's going to be a wonderful balancing card. Take and write that down and meditate meditate on that for yourself. I think that's so cool. It came up like that. That's awesome. Wow, what a powerful thing. So, now let's see, Taurus. A little cheat sheet here that I'm looking at. So Taurus is all about self-awareness. The moon's passing through Taurus today. So the moon is passing through Taurus, which means that there are going to be some challenges, and there's going to be some challenges with deciding actions. So let's see. We'll go into it a little bit more in detail later on. Jupiter's opposite Scorpio in Scorpio, so it's going to push against this energy a bit for another day or two. So Jupiter is very expanding. Scorpio is just looking at things incredibly deeply. If you've ever talked to a Scorpio, they will chew your ear off about all the things that are happening in your life and try and get you to open up to the depth of your life. So that's kind of what Jupiter is doing. But because it's an opposite, it's going to be pushing against the moon. The beauty of that, the moon's wanting you to open up and expand emotionally. Jupiter's pushing against that. You're going to feel the push, which is going to make you want to expand even more. So it's like a wonderful way for Jupiter to expand you. So, yeah, let's look at the card. So, you're exactly where you need to be, Taurus. So if you are a Taurus moon, Taurus sun, Taurus rising, you're exactly where you need to be. You're going into unknown territory. So get down in there, get down in the depths of the unknown territory, and you're going to expand this frequency into the collective consciousness. So you're exactly where you need to be. Whatever you break through on this 31st of January into this greater passion of what you want your life to be like is going to be amazing. It's going to inspire the rest of humanity through that same portal. It is so important that you have chosen to be on this planet at this time, and I am very grateful that you're going to be doing that work. So thank you. By all means, step into the work. If you have any questions or you need any kind of help or anything like that, reach out to me on either of these channels, and I am happy to pull some cards to help you balance through that heavy energy. So that's fantastic. Let's see. So the next one, Gemini. House, third house. If you happen to be a Gemini, Gemini moon, Gemini rising, you're going to be doing this for humanity's greater awakening. So Gemini is all about the external world. They learn through sharing their thoughts and listening to others. And if you ever know a Gemini, they go on at length about the amazing things that they see in their world. So the way that they see the world is really quite fantastic. Take a minute and listen to them. They're very inquisitive, curious, social, and flexible, and very lighthearted. But they need to be aware of being flighty or fickle and dishonest, or antisocial, or indifferent. There are no planets in Gemini right now. So Gemini is going to be affected if you happen to be one of those, have Gemini in your chart. You're going to want to know what your chart is, because your natal chart, your original placements, are getting affected by what's happening in our solar system in the closed circuit. So yeah, if you don't have a chart, you can go online, just pull up free natal chart. There's lots of ones out there. If you want, again, if you want the interpretation or the channeled messages, just hit me up. I'm happy to do that for you. So here is the message for Gemini. Take action with passion. Okay, So you're going to need valiant courage. And Geminis are really working through things right now. I notice that Geminis are really stepping up to I don't know where you went. Really stepping up to their magnificence. So take some courage. Take the leap. Okay, I know you don't look at the world as like a Scorpio does, or you know, like a Leo does. You're not a background player. You're a very important player, but you think of yourself as a background player, and you're not. So step into the most powerful aspect of yourself. What all these dreams that you've had in your head for so long, do them, because the minute you step into it, things are going to open up for you like crazy. Take action with passion. So stop sitting on the fence. Stop feeling like you're going to be a little fickle back and forth, and take action. Boom. Just do it. Get in there. I heard Miss Frizzle, whatever she says in that show, the Magic School Bus. Get in there, get dirty, go adventure. And that's what it's going to feel like for you, is hopping into Miss Frizzle's Magic School Bus. So get in there, because we need your learnings. We need what you're going to find on the other side. We need that power, and we need you to lead us as a collective consciousness through and into that energy. So 4th house, Cancer, embracing your feelings. That's Cancer moon, Cancer sun, Cancer rising. So embrace your feelings and sentiments by caring for and nurturing the world around you. You get 2 cards. Like before, unknown territory, you're exactly where you need to be. But you're feeling fogged. You're feeling fogged in. I want you to go slow and take your time. So where I'm telling everybody else to jump, Cancer, I know this is what Cancer does. Cancer sits back and goes, oh, wait, I got to think about that. Wait, let me think about that a little more. Wait, okay, hold on. I got to think about that even more. And they'll think themselves out of any opportunity. But I'm actually telling you right now, you're exactly where you need to be. There's a whole lot of energy that's working with Cancer right now. And I want you to go slow. This is surrounded by water because of the emotions that are heavy in your world right now. You might have been feeling super hyper sensitive, super withdrawn, disconnected, or detached. That's only because your desire to be so protective and gentle with the world right now, it's probably a little overwhelming. You've probably had a lot of shifts and changes in your emotional environment lately. So just chill out, relax. Relax and do what you need to do. Keep up what you're doing, but give yourself a little bit of a moment to relax and take it all in, instead of trying to take it all in and becoming disconnected or detached, which you can do if you take on too much emotion. So there's a lot of emotion going on in the world right now. The collective consciousness, in the collective consciousness, they are really going to town. Everybody's feeling everything. You're going to be picking that vibe up from everybody. So as everybody's like pounding through to get to where the direction is that they want to get to, Mars is heading into Sagittarius. It's going to get even worse. People are going to be adventuring all over the place, and they're going to be having big experiences. And you're going to be feeling that. You're going to want to nurture humanity, and so it's going to be big for you. So just relax. If you're a chick, take a bubble bath. If you're a guy, take a bubble bath. Go play golf. Whatever it is that your thing is that gets you grounded and into nature, do that. Do that for us, so that you can hold that energy while everybody's going wacky doodles. So let's see. Not bad wacky doodles. Good wacky doodles. Just adventuring. I don't know if you've ever taken off and just adventured. I just up and left and adventured one time, and I do that all the time actually, but one time I sold my house and moved off to Oregon and did all kinds of crazy things, just having fun. Went and had fun for 2.5, 3 years. So yeah, that kind of adventuring. Go seek who you are. Get out of Dodge and go find out who you are when you are not attached to the nipple of society. So that's what people are going to be doing when I say wacky doodles. So it's going to look a little wacky doodles But if you're willing to really step out and figure out who you are and what your passion is, it's going to be amazing. So let's see. Fifth house, Leo. Leo is a self-expression of creativity, playfulness, and sharing who you are with the world. This is the focus of what's going on and going down right now. The North Node is in Leo, and the North Node, as you know, is all about personal growth and learning and thrill and eagerness and figuring out who you are and all of that good stuff. So you're going to be embracing your heart's longing throughout this year, because it's going to be hanging out in Leo and getting more intense and more deep as it goes on until through December. So we have a bunch of energy on the cycle in the closed circuit on the opposite side of Leo that is coming down into a point right on top of this North Node. So it's all like focusing this energy straight down onto the North Node. Things like Pluto's involved, Neptune's involved. These are some high frequency vibrations that are focused down onto Leo and the North Node. So everybody's trying to figure out who they are. Who are they in this great transformation of humanity? We all know humanity is transforming. Who are you in the process? And that's what this is all about. So let's get you a card. I was going to give you that card. That's not your card. That is not your card. Let's get the right card for you. Oh my goodness. You know, this is really true. Sometimes you can over affect the situation. This is Leo's card. You can over affect the situation if you overthink it. So you just have to step back into alignment with yourself, give up, and let go of any form of illusion that you think that you know what you're talking about, and just jump back in. Just jump back into the emotions. So this is Leo. In the light of the full moon, I want you to release control. So Leo, I'm sorry, Leos, but you're gonna have to. And it's because you're holding this energy. Wow, you're holding it huge. Your life has probably gone upside down. I would imagine most Leos have gone upside down, because the only place that you're really going to be able to find this innate self, this self that exists on the outside of the material world, this higher vibration of self that created you into this moment as a Leo sun, Leo moon, Leo rising, is by stepping in to releasing control. Because we all know Leos love control. You have to let go, and then your world's going to stop going upside down. Because that is the illusion humanity is working through right now in the bigger consciousness of humanity. We're talking things that have been around for 2,000 years, 6,000 years. From the last time we were here at this particular point in time in the universe, last moment we were at this particular location in the equinox, it's all focused right now on Leo in the North Node. So you get to release, and this is what you're holding, is all of the 7.6 billion people on the planet right now are working through this vibration, and you get to shine the way, lead the way through all this emotion that we're experiencing. You're going to get on your boat and lead the way. So hold that energy. Your life that has gone upside down, it will fix itself if you just let go. Okay? So letting go, Leo. Sixth house, Virgo. If you have a Virgo in your life, count yourself very lucky, because they will keep you aligned to the higher sense of self that you are, and won't let you misstep and take a sideways glance at a different path other than the one that you should be on. So they're really good at that. They want to improve themselves, improve the world, and help others improve. They don't have anything big going on in their planet, so they're holding the energy, and they're moving through. Just so you know, Virgos, I want you to be aware of being too much of a perfectionist, controlling, nitpicking, or becoming a workaholic. If on the other side of that, you're out of balance. You'll also deteriorate, not take care of yourself, be depreciating towards other people, or disdaining the world. So just be mindful. If you're in any of those mind frames, just release them. That's no big deal. There's nothing right or wrong about anything. The world is not right or wrong. It is just, I'm having this experience. And on the other side of letting go is the wisdom. So you'll have the wisdom from the lesson learned of holding any of those funky vibes that are not true to who you are, but they're great lessons, because when you get it, just like anybody, when Leo gets it, when Scorps get it, when Sagittarius get it, when everybody gets the big aha lesson, then we all get it, because we're all integrated with one another through our atomic structures, through our vibrations. We're just quantumly connected. So I'm so glad we could talk about this in these words nowadays. 30, 40 years ago, we couldn't talk like this. People are like, what? I don't get it. But now we understand quantum physics exists and understands that we are all quantumly entangled. So that's how Virgos are going to be doing this for us. And here is the card for Virgo. Okay, Virgo, I know you hit it hard. I'm going to give you the same card that I gave Cancer. Slow down. Take your time. The world is full of emotions right now, and you're wanting to fix it. That's overwhelming for the best of anybody. Just chill. Okay? Let it be what it is, and you will be okay, because you're going to be doing huge work anyway. If you try and get too involved, you're going to become that workaholic and get overly worked out and deteriorate. So you're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to be aligned with your greater vibration. So let yourself find that by slowing down and taking time for yourself. Let the world be processed through you aligning with yourself. That's the most important thing. Okay? Let's see. The next one, Libra. Libra is all about keeping balance and mutuality with consciousness actions relating with the world. So in other words, they keep the balance by being conscious and taking that consciousness into actions and relating with the world with that. So that's pretty powerful. Okay, all of you Libras, Libra moon, Libra rising, Libra sun. There isn't any planets in your houses or big things happening. So you're going to be holding this energy. I want you to just remember to remain morally fair and impartial and harmonious as you're processing things in the world. If you're too attached to the television, please turn it off. If you're too attached to the dramas that are happening, you're just getting pulled into the chaos vibration, turn it off. And find who you are in this greater expansion of humanity's consciousness, because you just have to hold the vibration. You just have to hold the vibration within self. I've got two cards for you. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay. You're going to want to go into solitude. So in silence, peace is going to prevail. So you're going to want to get up on a bandstand. Unless it's in your greater alignment, in your greater calling, you're only going to make the situation worse. So all you're going to be doing is holding on to the frequencies of vibrations of this chaos and adding to it. So you have to go find your own personal vibration. If your personal vibration says, yes, I'm in alignment with this, it's not going to be an emotional drawing that you're going to feel a fight. Anytime, and this is for everybody, anytime that you feel the vibration of fight when it comes up with this chaos that you see in the world, you are actually holding the energy of the chaos. The chaos vibration was put into play within this closed circuit millennia ago because of situations that had occurred on the planet at the time, a lot of things that had happened with humanity because of the integration of DNA into the human integration or the human DNA. There were things that went a little wacky doodle, and they had put on a vibration, kind of like a little safety bubble around that starts at Saturn and comes down in through the moon and affects us. So we want to make sure that what you do right now allows that bubble's a bad word, alignment vibration, that alignment vibration to thin out. This is the thinning of the veil that they talk about. So the veil of truth is lifting, but it's not really a veil. It's just a harmonic frequency that has allowed us to progress as humanity as we have incorporated this DNA into our structure. It got a little sidetracked because the powers that wanted to keep this going held on to it for the last few thousand years and put a lot of vibration onto it through symbology and harmonic frequencies and structures. But those have, the illusions of those have been broken down in multiple ways over the course of quite a while now. So we've now, and the planets are aligning, and there's so many people coming in from outside of our solar system. So not to get too far out there, but these are just things that are occurring, so that are allowing us to break through into these frequencies within humanity, within the material form, which is why you chose to come in and chose to come here and vibrate from the inside of that vibration bubble. So people are doing it from the outside, we're doing it from the inside. So this is what you're going to be working on, Libras, and it's so important. If you find yourself attaching to that negativity, don't, because you're just strengthening it. So your job is to, in silence, peace is going to prevail. Just chill, 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 chill. And here's the other card for you. You're exactly where you need to be, so there's no worry. You just get to relax. And then I feel like I need to give you this other card. I guess Libra is really holding a lot of energy, which makes a lot of sense. You can overcome anything. That's powerful. That's even giving me chills. I just want you to know that when you think about it, I like the vision of this sword in a rock, because you think that as humanity that this might feel like it's impossible, but that's what you're doing. You're actually the sword going through and moving down into and breaking apart this rock, or what feels like a solid vibration, which it isn't. I mean, whatever you focus on, you create. That's as easy as that, and you know that to be true. So just focus on relaxing, going into unknown territory, and finding peace. And that's all you have to do. It's as easy as that. Find your alignment. It's as easy as that. Your alignment to your higher self. So let's see, now we're on to Scorpios. Expose the truth. Scorpios love to do this. I'm a Scorpio. Expose the truth by having deep conversations that penetrate the depths of life. Jupiter's there, so we're having even deeper conversations. Jupiter's in 20 degrees and Mars is in 29 degrees tonight. And then tomorrow it's going to go into Scorpio. And boy, watch out. We're going to have lots of fun. So Jupiter expands what's possible. And Mars, it's all about driving self-determined motivation and the removal of barriers. It's sextiling Pluto and Mercury in Capricorn, creating even more of a feeling of opportunity for Mars and self-determined motivation. So Scorpios, you're holding this vibration. You're probably chatting off everybody's ear about who are they, what are their potentials. They're probably not letting anybody who complains at you get away with complaining. You're saying, hey, there's something more beyond them that you're not looking at. And why are you not using those vibrations to get to where you want to be in life instead of complaining about it? That's probably the conversation you're having with each and every Scorpio. If ever you go to Oregon to a place called Hope Mountain, you will be surrounded by Scorpios. If ever you want to be greatly learned, go over and hang out with the Scorpios there, because they will tell you what's up. And so, yeah, it's just an interesting place on the planet. So Scorpios, I want you to follow your bliss. By the light of this moon, I want you to get really wacky doodle crazy, stepping into allowing yourself to speak the truth with love to everyone. So use your empathic skills to dive deep with everybody and really go quantum big, because you're going to be holding this vibration for everyone. So not only are you going to be doing this for yourself, if you have any desire to get out into the world and do something really magnificent and magical, I want you to step up and do it. All right? Start preparing ways to get that done. And I want you to follow your bliss. So use your creativity and get out there and start speaking your truth. I feel like there's another card for you. Let's see. That's the one. And trust that there is a divine plan. And by a divine plan, what that means is, okay, that's not necessarily a word that I would use as a divine plan. That's part of the illusion. This is probably why I needed to pull this card so we can have this conversation. That's part of the illusion that is set up inside this vibration frequency that is surrounding us as a bubble from Saturn in. And so this just needs to get broken. It's the divine aspect that we were taught here about 2,000 years ago, that divine meant that we don't get to make the decisions on our own. But here is the easiest way to break that illusion. Within that structure, they gave the key for breaking the illusion, because within the concept of divine is an axiom or a universal truth that says that you have free agency or freedom of choice. Done and done. Which means there is no divine magic wand, divine magic plan, divine magic easy button that says that it's going to get done for you. Just not going to happen. Just not going to happen. The best thing that's going to happen is that you are going to have your own, you have to go inward, your own personal temple to find your own truth. You have to go meditate. And I know that you empaths know this. I know that you know that this is what it is. You may not know that you're holding on to the illusion of the divinity. It's one of those vibrations. So we have the anger Mars vibration, and then the divinity victim solution easy button. And both of those things are vibrations that get broken as we move into quantum humanity's greater awakening. So I want you to savor your life and be a savior to your own life. So it just works that way. I can show you doctrine and doctrine and doctrine where it tells you that you have to go through this process. And unfortunately, and it's kind of a grief that we had to go through that process and believe that there was something that was as easy as a magic wand, a bunch of money, and a few rosary buttons that we could say prayers to that would make it so that we could find everlasting peace and a magical heaven. Heaven exists when you're in alignment with yourself. Anti-heaven exists when you're not in alignment with yourself. And all it is the emotions that we feel. Our emotions are balanced when we are balanced within ourselves. When we are not balanced, we feel disharmonic. And it's kind of like listening to fingernails on a chalkboard. It just is scratchy and irritating and doesn't feel good. And that's the reason why we get the doldrums. We're not in alignment. So stop looking and force someone else to fix that for you, and figure out that Solomon's temple lives within the axioms of going through the doors within self to find self. That is the temple that you live within. So you created this temple when you came here by your choice to be here at this time to work on these vibrations within the bubble to help this bubble break and expose human consciousness to the fact that we are not alone and that we are actually intimately connected. I love this. I love how it works. This is the card that just popped out. It's a wondrous universe, that this is where we're going. So just take a look at that. That's what's happening. You see Saturn over here? We're going to Saturn. I'm telling you. I was shown this a while ago. And besides, it has nothing to do with me. It just is. So yeah, it's like the magic universal bubble of the universe. So what lies beyond it is magic. It's straight up everything that you could possibly imagine. There's a reason why telepathy exists as a word, because you will have access to that. You'll have access to telekinesis. You'll have access, but that's so shallow. Those are just words. There's so much beyond that, things that you could even begin to imagine. Worlds beyond worlds. So let's see. This is Scorpio. Let's do Sagittarius. Let's see. Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius rising, the 9th house. Sagittarius explores life and purpose by expanding the mind, body, and spirit through adventure. So Mars is going to be heading into this tomorrow. Mars is the energy of desire, of breaking through, breaking free, almost like an Aries, but a little bit more with intention and what they want. Just be aware, if you really have a strong Mars in your natal chart, you're going to maybe have to go back and forth on this a little while. Usually a Sag is pretty open-minded, optimistic, and purposeful. But be aware of becoming overly preachy, condescending, impractical, or aimless, pessimistic, or inhibited. So just find your balance. And again, this is how we practice finding our balance. The world becomes the mirror for us, and we're going to have a lot of Sagittarius mirrors because we're going to be out there in the world doing our thing. And the world's going to say, whoa, 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 whoa. And we get to look at ourselves and go, wow, was I in alignment? Was I not in alignment? And it's not about them, it's about me, which breaks that anger energy of Mars. So this is how we're going to break through Mars anger energy. We get to look at ourselves. We're going to do this in Sagittarius. We're going to do this because in Leo, we're going to say, who are we? We're going to get really behind ourselves to find our passion. And then we're going to, bam, Mars into Sagittarius, start adventuring in the world, and then start looking at self. All right, the world is my mirror. What areas, as I travel inward in through this temple, in Solomon's temple, through the different gates, the different doors, what am I going to find out about myself? Because I'm hearing from the world this, and recognizing, well, that's in alignment, that's not in alignment. Let me look at that again. Not going anywhere with the pessimism or becoming inhibited, but still keep putting ourselves out there like adults and not getting mad. So, the answers are, my dear, within. The answers are within. So this is what I want you to process, especially here, Sagittarius, here in the next month, while Mars is transiting your sign. You're going to be having this experience of your greater desires and intentions and intuitions coming out, and humanity, as you're experiencing Mars go through Sagittarius, you're going to be wanting to step into this vibration as well. So Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius rising, and Sagittarius sun, you're going to be lighting the way for us to show us how to do that. You're going to go out in the world, and then you're going to come back in. And every single night and every single day, every single morning, you should be aligning with yourself through meditation before your feet hit the ground. Take a minute and really draw yourself into you having an earth experience as a 5D nature, or your external self that may be 12, 15D, may be from different planets, different solar systems. Who knows? Who knows? We don't know. And that's the whole idea, is that we're trying to get to the point where we do know, where we're connected to this universal consciousness. So we are breaking through this by breaking through these vibrations, and Mars is a huge one. So I want you to find the answers within, because this is how you're going to be able to bring that vibration, that external vibration of who you were before you came into this closed circuit, bring that vibration into alignment with humanity, and bring it forward so that we can start working that structure down that is around Saturn from the inside. So the other card for you is that I want you to know that we are beginning a new cycle. This Mars definitely is beginning a new cycle. So we're actually opening up. We're going to be doing this cycle for the next 6 months. And we've got 6 months, 6 years, clear up until 2023. There's lots of things happening. That's important. I want you to hear that. I'm going to say it again. The next 6 months are important. It's like the first cycle. The next cycle that is layered over the top of that is the next 6 years. And that's important. It's a cycle. We'll talk more about that. And then it's going to cycle layered over the top of that now through 2026. So we have 3 big cycles happening right now. Well, there you go. 3 big cycles happening right now. So you're going to be holding the energy for that. Just remember, be the light within. Go inward and work this process through. Okay. That's because this came up. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. All right. So just remember, you're going to uncover some amazing treasures within there. All right. That's important. That was a dragon card. That was kind of cool. I was born in the year of the dragon. I'll take that. I mean, that's pretty cool. I have a Sagittarius moon, so that's going to be fun. Sagittarius moons, emotions, high emotions. Lots going to be happening. It's probably why I feel like I have to pull this together right now. I'd imagine. I don't know. 2 days ago, I was like, I just got to do this. I've always enjoyed sitting in the background, and it's like, no, man, you got to step forward. So anyway, here I am. 10th house, Capricorn. Capricorn moon, Capricorn rising. Capricorn builds a legacy through discipline, patience, and tenacity. Wow, Capricorn, you got so much happening in your house. You're holding so much energy for this Leo situation that's occurring. You're opposite that Leo energy. So, wow, it's going down. You have Saturn at 4 degrees, Pluto at 19 degrees, Mercury at 21 degrees. You just had a whole bunch of planets go through your sign. And probably the biggest one is you're holding this one for Saturn. Now, Saturn is not the nemesis. Everybody thinks Saturn's the nemesis. Saturn is not the nemesis. Saturn is working for us. It is working, that energy, that vibration is pure and whole and is lovely. Saturn has this wonderful way of saying, be in alignment with who you are. When these vibrations were set up, they were set up in such a beautiful way that there was no way to fail. It's just a matter of us jumping in and having the experience. We can sit over, and, it's like when you're getting ready for work and you just want to stay in bed a little longer because it feels, ooh, so nice, and you don't want to get out of bed. So it's like that. We've all wanted to just say, ooh, nice, don't want to get out of bed, and didn't want to really do the work because the work can be painful because it's emotions, right? And it's only painful going into it because breaking these illusions is the hardest part, is seeing the illusion. The hardest part is being willing to change whatever is in your life that is all about this illusion. That's the hard part. You don't want to change. You want to stay in bed. You don't want to get cold. You don't want to start something new. You don't know what it is. You don't want to break the illusion. So you're just going to have to. Because what lies on the other side of it, think about every new love romance. Think about every new car when you went and finally made the decision. Think about the things that have happened when you've created something, you've had those moments, And if you've never had any of those moments and your life has just been, sucky, I totally get that too. And just trust that there's going to be something amazing on the other side. It's kind of like, the moment that you've had the most delicious food you've ever had, and you're sitting there going, oh my God, this tastes so good. Oh my God, I'm so glad I came out. Or you met somebody and you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I met somebody because you went out. So get ready to go, Capricorn. And you're probably feeling it because for those of you that are around 25, 26, 27, around in there, you're having your Saturn return, and your world, if you're in alignment, is really taking on some synergy and action. If you're not in alignment, your world is probably, everything that's not in alignment with your world is going away. Your relationships are going away, your jobs are going away, your housing structure, the place you've lived, whatever isn't in alignment is just falling apart. So if you want a Saturn return report, just let me know. I'd be happy to do that for you and help channel any information, pull some cards to help you get some balance. So I know those are heavy energies, but if you're just a regular Capricorn, Capricorn moon, Capricorn rising, you're going to be holding this energy for everybody. This energy of transformation and synergy and world transforming into our higher collective consciousness. So it's all being focused down on the North Node. So this is the balance to all of that. And this is where we are going. Oh, where is it? Abundance is pouring into your life. You have no idea how much abundance is pouring into your life if you just open up to it. Oh my gosh, you're going to be totally changed by the end of this. There is so much power in what is being said. Just recognize you've got massive amounts of abundance. Now you're holding this energy for the collective consciousness. Collective consciousness. Everyone who is on this planet right now, you're going to have so much abundance. By the time we are done with this here in the next 6 years, abundance. When you're done at 23, wow, abundance. There's going to be so much abundance. We're going to be breaking through all of these vibrations. Well, if you think about it, if you take away all of the frequencies of fight, and you take away all of the frequencies of not having what you want and not being able to have your passion, the ones that say, I'm going to take for me and you get yours because I got mine, that's all going to go away. What's on the other side of that? Community, connection. Naturally, we're just sharing. And you're not going to want to see another person sitting on the side of the road and their house is a piece of cardboard. You're not going to want that anymore. It's going to be socially acceptable and the norm that why would you hoard money? Why would you do that? You know, why would you hoard space? Why would you hoard your talents? Why would you charge $10,000 to learn how to market? You wouldn't. You would freely give that in a way. I think the person who did this best and showed us was Bernie Sanders. At $27, everybody could afford $27 to support Bernie Sanders. This is the energy of what we were going towards. And I'm so glad that happened, because it showed that everybody had $27 and that he could develop millions of dollars through that because he was working in a global environment. You're going to be working away from, everybody in Capricorn is going to be experiencing this. You're going to be moving away from going and getting a paycheck for $10, $15, working 2 jobs, $30 if you have a career, $50 if you're a doctor, $100 if you're a psychologist. I mean, you're just going to move away from that because there's only so many hours in the day that you can work. Your income is limited and your social status is here. Other people's social status is there. All that's going to go away because when you recognize that when you bring your passion forward into the world, here's what's key. You can create millions of dollars by charging everybody $27. The goal is, how much of alignment do you have within self? If you're speaking truth, then you're not manipulating anybody anymore. You're just telling truth. And if people resonate with it, great. Send $27. I'll give you more information. You know, that's it. And I don't need a lot of information. You don't, or a lot of money. Nobody needs a lot of money, because when you're manifesting and sharing your space and working together and giving as much as you're receiving, you have abundance. I think that was the card we pulled. You have abundance. And so there's your channeled message, Capricorn. And everybody that is experiencing Capricorn, as Capricorn is holding the energy for the collective consciousness as we move through this, you have infinite abundance. Yeah, you see that? They're all working together. Infinite abundance. An apple tree grows an apple. It doesn't say, give me $5 for that apple, you know, unless you live in, what is that one land with Dorothy and the witch and the trees that were enchanted that said, hey, I don't go around taking your apples. Why are you taking my apples? That's not what the world is. We freely give. We freely give of our own evolution. And again, we're beginning a new cycle. We're beginning a new cycle with this infinite abundance, and we're answering the call because right now is the time. Right now is the time. We're going to be walking through this portal, and that's what it's going to look like. We're going to be going into new land, and we're going into new land hard. So we're hitting it good. So we only need, there's 7.6 billion people, 7.6 billion ways of doing this internal work through the gates of Solomon within ourselves. So the time is now, and we're going to be going through these portals of energy. And as the field of energy comes in, we're going to be, working with that as well. So that's what it says down here. So shift the world with our gifts, talents, and passions. So that's what we're walking through the portal to find on the other side of it. That's what Capricorn's going to be doing, is leading the way. Capricorns, get ready, because you're going to shift the world with your gift, talents, and passions, your superpowers. So if you see how the world works, there's so many people that picked up this vibration back in the late 90s and started preparing to create these movies that talk a lot about everybody using their superpowers to help inspire humanity, especially in the Western cultures, where we start recognizing that empaths have special powers and people have special powers. Everybody's empathic. So I'm not excluding anybody by saying empaths, but as humanity just is what we are very empathic. And so you're using your superpowers. So you're going to use these gifts, talents, and passions to change the world. Well, anyway, that is that story. So second to last one, 11th house, Aquarius. Aquarius moon, Aquarius rising. I feel like there's probably more that I need to say about Capricorn. Just know that I got your back. If you need anything, you just hit me up. I am happy to pull a card for balance because you're holding a lot of energy for sure. And thank you for doing that. That's probably what I need to say with gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for holding that energy. That's really powerful. If you need some help getting your passion out in the world, hit me up too. I'm happy to help you do that. I have connections. So I'm happy to share those connections with you freely. So awesomeness there. Awesome sauce. So now 11th house, Aquarius. Aquarius moon, Aquarius rising. Changes, Aquariuses change the world through innovation, ideas, and creating social change. So, wow, you are right next to Capricorn. And Capricorn, if you have any Aquariuses in your friend circle, count yourself very lucky because they will be perfect people for sharing your thoughts with. Scorpios will tell you to go deep. And then Aquarius will say, let's get these ideas rolling. So let's do some social change. You would be an amazing team. So if you Capricorns have an Aquarius, team up, team up. What does it say? Believe in magic. And no doubt with this moon, Aquariuses, as you're holding this energy, you've got the sun in your sign, and that's at 5 degrees, and Venus is at 9 degrees. So Venus is all about exploring your passion, exploring your pleasure. So you're going to be incredibly, it's going to bring you great pleasure to do tremendous world-changing things. So find yourself a Capricorn. Find yourself a great team to get in there and really believe in busting through. Believe that there is magic. Believe that there is something beyond what these illusions have been for so long, for a few thousand years. Believe that there's something beyond because you already know it. I already know you know it. So believe that. Believe that vibration that you have always known and be willing to look a little wacky doodles because it's only going to look wacky doodles until you do it and then other people will do it and then it's not wacky doodle anymore. This used to be incredibly wacky doodle. You think, 100 years ago, they would thought, what? 50 years ago, what? And even 20 years ago, no, we would not talk about this stuff. This was so under the rug conversations. Now it's like normal. So just believe in magic. Believe in the transformation that you believe is true in your heart and that you already know. I can't tell you how strong I'm feeling that. You already know, Aquarius. So you just hop up in there and let's see, with the deeper emotion that it's going to happen with, there's an opposition. Who's in opposition with you? There's going to be an opposition. So whoever's in opposition, with the deeper emotion, it's going to be easier for us to recognize the truth when we come to look directly on it through the intensity of opposition. I'm quite curious. I wrote down the notes and I didn't write down. So let's see. It must be the Venus is going to be opposite. And so it's going to be opposite to something, probably our desire. So because of that opposition, it's probably because it's opposite Leo. So with that desire, it's probably going to force us to look at it because we're not going to want that feeling. So we're going to look at it to get rid of it. And that's the beauty of opposition. It tells us, hey, there's something there to look at. So that's perfect for where consciousness needs to go. And then over here in the 12th house, Pisces, let's see, Pisces moon, Pisces rising, Pisces sun. You seek to find peace within the flow of inner and outer worlds. You guys are the ones that really like to experience the balance and harmony of recognizing, like a sage would recognize that there is good in all things. There is no right and there is no wrong. That is Pisces. So yeah, collectively, when we really get to the point, and this is where we're going to be going for this whole until 2026, this is what consciousness is going, collective consciousness is going to get to. There is no right and wrong. All of that illusion of divinity where there's right and wrong, that's just going to be a story in the past, and we're going to wake up huge beyond that. And because there is no right and wrong, we can't fight over religion anymore. If you think about it, it all boils down to right and wrong. There isn't any right and wrong. There's only the experience of what's happening right now. And how are you taking it? How aligned are you with your own higher self, the one that said that you wanted to come here? all of these cards have been saying what amazing things are happening when we get beyond this. So Pisces, you're going to be setting up the standard and the way, lighting the way for us to be able as consciousness to walk through these vibrations, break these illusions, break through that bubble from the inside and move to the outside. What lies beyond Saturn, these connections, these amazing connections to Uranus, to Neptune, to Pluto, to the star systems that are in these constellations, to the humanities that live in these star systems, to the collective consciousness that exists within our universe. So we will be able to feel that and that connection and entertain these conversations, and it's going, and it already is quite beautiful how you are going to do this. So as above, so below. Neptune's over there in Pisces at 12 degrees, and Chiron is over there at 25 degrees. This means that you're going to release the unknown illusions and accept the unknown that is beyond your beliefs. Healing old wounds. That's Chiron. You're going to be healing old wounds. So you're doing that for the collective consciousness. It's kind of sad that the powers that wanted to sit in place, wanted to control for the last 2,000 years our natural growth because they just wanted to hold on to this illusion. I always wondered, when you have all the money in the world, what on earth do you want more for? You know, so that those that don't have any have even less. But the reason why there is no bad, because there's a level of entropy that humanity will take when they hit the lowest of the lows. Is the beautiful thing. I'm going to show you this real quick. When you hit the lowest of the lows, you've pulled the rubber band back as far as you possibly can, and when you let go of the lowest of the lows, you let go of it, synergy says it's going to fly way past, and it's going to be the highest of the highs, because you've expanded the frequency and vibration back here. It's not a linear thing one direction. It is by universal law. It is the full circumference. So the opposite and equal reaction from a physics point of view is going to be equal. So thank you. You say to that energy, there's no right and wrong. You say, thank you for pulling us way back here, because that only expanded human consciousness that much. And I wish I could see that much. So we're just expanded. All right. That much. Thank you. And when we get this, we're going to be like, wow. They're really waiting on the other side when we connect, and it's going to be quite the party. It's going to be so wonderfully balanced. And yeah, and then we're just going to take off like wildfire. It's just going to be wonderful. So as you're holding this energy, Pisces, and you already know what I'm talking about, you're going to release the unknown illusions and accept the unknown that is beyond the beliefs, healing old wounds and redeeming your purpose and rejuvenating your intention for your purpose in life. So just be in alignment with self, this external self that existed before you came into this closed circuit. So be present, trusting, mindful, and empathic, and always be aware of being delusional, escaping, or living in a fantasy or nihilistic. So that just means that you're falling out of alignment, and then you just go, oh, okay, well, you know, I recognize that because the world mirrored that back at me, because I'm part of this whole cycle of the 12 houses. I'm going to break through that illusion, and then I'm going to recognize that I can come back to self and self source, and connection. This is your card. The answers are within. So anytime that you have any questions, I want you to go within and find the answers for yourself. Don't go to outside sources for the answers, because that's where these vibrations exist. Anytime you pick up a book, anytime you pick up a doctrine, a religion, a story, watch a movie, listen to a song, any of those things, just recognize, unless you're coming at that because you have been told to turn on the radio, there's something for you to listen to using your intuition and your empathic ability. If you're not doing it like that, then what you're doing is you're actually listening to the vibrations of the world, and you're including that vibration into yourself. So I want you to go inside. This is the truth of going into Solomon's temple. You have to let go of everything material, which means that anything in the vibration of the world around you that isn't in alignment with who you are needs to go. And that's why the Capricorns are having their world explode right now, because they need to find out who their vibration is within. So you need to find the truth of self within. So yeah, bless your hearts, everybody. And here's here's a card for everybody. Stepping into power. This is what we're doing. We are strong beyond measure. Humanity. I want to give you my blessings. Thank you so much for coming with me today and sharing with me in this great awakening of humanity and transformation. So blessings. And so please subscribe if you're watching to this on YouTube. Please subscribe so you will know when I'm going live again and when I upload new things as we progress. And then just recognize we're going to be doing some inner workings here coming up fairly soon. We're going to be learning how to let go of psychic attacks and illusions. And the next thing that we're probably going to be doing is tomorrow we're going to be doing a meditation for Mars and a desire to explore as Mars goes into Sagittarius, and we want to start exploring some of these mirrors in the world to help break through some of these illusions. So thank you again for joining, and blessings and peace. Bye.